Good morning, everyone, and welcome, fellow travelers on Spaceship Earth. I hope everybody's doing okay this morning. Good morning, Brent. I see you already on here. Okay, I think I might have figured this thing 90% out. So I have been trying to get all of the controls for Restream and OBS to all be on just one screen. I don't need 6 monitors with one button on each monitor, so that, which is what we've not really. What's happened is I only click on 3 buttons on Restream. One button to let other people into the stream, and then a button to run the opening and closing credits, and that's it. But I couldn't integrate Restream into OBS, so I needed Restream to be taking up an entire monitor for this control thing. And I knew that there was a dock internally, so I could turn that into something that could be used there, but because of a dumb thing with OBS's internal Google Chrome, not Google Chrome, internal Google Chrome, the dock that's in here in OBS has no menu bar. So it needs you to go into settings and set it so that it will give permission to the camera and to the microphone. But you can't, because you can't get into settings, because you cannot click a little icon that lets you into settings, because there's no menu bar. And I have been trying all kinds of weird and funky things to make this work, because if I could get the dock here to work, then I'd be broadcasting with just this. So the sort of patch that I have made is I'm still running 2 instances right now. I'm running an instance of Chrome underneath my Google or my OBS here on the front. And so it's the one that's actually broadcasting because it's my copy of Chrome, so it understands where the camera and microphone permissions are. And then I'm running the dock over here with a dummy version of me, which has freaked out and says, "You don't have camera or microphone. Oh no." And that's fine. As long as it's still an administration account, I can still click all the buttons right here and it'll still work. So I can still control it. What it does mean is I've used up one of my slots, but there are 10 of them. One of my show slots for the dummy, which has to sit in here. And I have to remember to mute this screen, because if I don't mute this screen, it plays the audio from the screen and we get an echo of me. So this could all be solved if only I could figure out how to get into the properties of the Google Chrome instance in OBS. And that's still something that apparently they'll get around to someday. But today is not that day. So anyway, 'tis the way it goes. 'Tis the way the world is. Hope everybody is doing good this morning. Yeah, and what's so funny is Restream's like, why don't you just broadcast from OBS? And I'm like, that's fine, but I'd have to rebuild everything you see here, all of this upper stuff here, all this down stuff over here, and then make this show up on my screen, which I've done before, but then I don't know how to include other people into the stream. So if it was just me, that'd be fine. But I don't know how to make other people join the stream. Anyway. Oh, here's a viewership thing down here, which is useful. Before you can send comments, you'll need to go live first before. So today is the day where I am looking through everything to see what's working and what's not. Oh, I just clicked a button. Oh yeah, I don't need that. Close. Okay. Shrug. All looks good. All my controls look fine. Everything looks like it's running just okay. And even though I have done the weird thing of trying to make everything work, my little kludge works just fine. And it'll be okay. So let's get to work. We have 2 projects today, but I want to finish this piece because it's actually looking kind of cute. We'll finish this piece, and then we move on to an actual piece that was sort of sent to me prior to the world kind of getting wonky on me. I'm going to finish this piece real quick because it's kind of cute and I like it. All right. Because see, the way I like this control system better up here on the OBS, because I've got so many controls that I can now operate on and work with. All of my chat controls are really clear and easy to understand. My operating controls over here. My scene controls are over here. It's just so much nicer. Everything's on one screen. It's interesting. This morning when I started this work on this picture, how much Chang looked like a man for a while there. And it's all because I hadn't put in all of the visual codes, visual clues that made her look like a her. And it makes me always think when things like that happen about how very, very fragile the difference between male and female is. How it's very easy, and how relatively simple it is to remove the cues that tell us whether someone's male or female. I find that interesting. Not in a negative way. I don't find anything really negative. In general, I always just am fascinated by how the human body does, how our social systems work, things, you know what I mean? Like there's all these things. Everything has such fascinating setups. I mean, like why people are who they are, and why we see things a certain way. I wish it gave me insight on why people find that to be a problem, but it doesn't. I certainly don't understand why people have to hate over it, but that's for another. All right. You know what could happen, Ken? You could join us, and then we tell you. I've got actually a good question, Ken, since you're here. Are you still working your farm duties while you're doing your work? Because I'm curious now. How many how many tasks have we piled onto you? That sounds fair. I've been curious about that since you started working because I haven't actually had much time to talk to you at all. It's been kind of a week. We had one fellow on last night who was part of a raid, and he was like, "I love your style. It has great energy." And I was like, "Well, thank you." Although I think Can's style has far more energy than mine does. And then there was this pause, and then he goes, "Oh, so you're not Can?" I was like, "Well, no, not really." And he went and looked at my artwork, and he's like, "You've got great line work." Like, see, like I said, Can's got more energy than me in his work. It's fine. Just very funny. It's like, well, kind of like the Guy Davis. I love your work. No, no, no. I can already tell. Gotcha. Right. Yeah, I figured that's also why, even though we see you on here, you're not joining these threads yet, or these streams. Despite me haranguing you, I actually do not want to rush you into it. I'm only haranguing you because you are a friend, and that is a requirement. I do have a question about what do your weekends look like, though? Yep. We'll let that settle in. And what we'll do is if I um, just for whatever reason can't make it to the show or whatever, then we'll just let the show skip for that day. I haven't heard hide nor hair of Pepper since April. I mean, I've seen him; he's active, but he hasn't joined the thread. Last night we had uh, Nightbat. Right? Is that her name? the one who's working on the shoujo-esque comic, and she was saying she could join the thread, but because she's at night, she's monitoring people, making sure they stay in bed and stuff like that. So that's her job. I assume that it's elderly care is the way it sounds to me. So that's her job. So she can draw, and then if somebody gets up, she can put them back into their bed and stuff. She can't broadcast, she can't talk, but she can join and type. And so I was thinking of extending to her the link and then letting her join and draw. And I think that's pretty cool. So I don't know. This weekend I work. Tomorrow I don't work. Tomorrow we're going to go. Hey, Bulldog. Tomorrow we're going to go to the Renaissance Festival. But Sunday I work. And then Monday I don't, but Tuesday I do. So that's weird. But Monday I may be going out on a shoot, so we'll have to see. Cool. We will miss each other by just a little bit. Except that you're not going to our Ren Fair. You're going to the one out by you. Which isn't, that's apparently my buddy says that Ren Fair is pretty kick butt too. So I mean, he's been there. So that seems like a cool thing. Or rather won't be a cool thing for either one of us, because it's probably going to be 4 billion degrees. Although here we don't have 100% humidity. Always a plus. All right. Now we're working on another piece. I put a model in here to make sure I had everything straight. Now I do. And I'm going to go up here. Just make sure this is all straight too. Because like her eyes are a little high on this one. Bring her eyes down just a smidge. I'm sorry. Man, that snuck up on me. Alrighty. I feel like the resolution's too low, so we're going to bring the resolution up before we do. It's already 8 by 14, 8.5 by 14, 600 dpi. That's not bad. I just feel like that's a lousy resolution. Yesterday was good, but also bad. I mean, oh, I get that. I'm having a problem making this work for me here. There we go. soon as you resize it, it blows up. That's fine. There we go. Yeah. All right, let's go in here and do this thing. Ken, while you were gone, Kat got on here and helped us fix a lot of our brushes. So I no longer get the sausage brushes. You know, the ones where I do this and then they do this and then they do this. And I was like, really? 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 I couldn't get it to stop doing that. Now look at that. It's very fine. Just pleased. You do love drawing. Man, it's... Oh, you love this drawing. Well, thank you. I was like, what? I love drawing too. I admit openly that that was dense. I have fixed this. Oh, well, thank you, Bulldog. I actually do appreciate that. When I was telling Ken, we had somebody on last night who was like, "You've got such energy in your work," and then was like, "Oh, you're not Ken, you're GS Davis." Oh, okay, yeah. No, I like your line work. That's not the way they said it, but that's definitely the way that my brain took it. It was just like, I can do 6.5 by 4.6. I'm okay with that. far into her head do we want to go? Not that far though, because this is way past her eyebrows, so this is going to have to be here. I just retired my tiefling, and so this is kind of also a sort of, even though it's a commission, it's sort of a sad commission. You could do that too. So you kind of have to understand a little bit about the story. We started it a long, long time ago, and um, when we did, I had a paladin, and the paladin was too irritating, like stupidly irritating, just drove me crazy. And so, because as a paladin, I couldn't figure out how to play her in a way that worked so that it wouldn't, I mean, really legitimately, she had to be willing to put everybody else in jail. So it became kind of unpleasantly difficult to play her. So I retired her early, like before we got to 5th level, and instead said, I don't know why I've never played a bard before, but I haven't. And so I started playing I built my tiefling bard, and she was so much fun to play. But the game at this point in time had built this prophecy, of which was going on. And there's this entire story that was this prophecy. And in the prophecy were all of the characters that were present at 1st level, including my paladin, whom the DM has repurposed as the big bad, right? So my tiefling was not part of that. And so the last game, she met her parents, and her parents tried to kill her and succeeded. And so she ended up dying, and then it became one of those fits the story just fine things. So now, sadly, we are retiring the tiefling. She may come back. It's D&D. But for the time being, it fits a number of things. It fits a lot of, it's very useful. So Anyway, it does. However, Ivy is one of my absolute favorite characters that I have ever played. So, yep, it might have to be a thing. I actually think my DM has a different plan for her. There was this tree we were all by that was glowing, and, so obviously it was something we were supposed to get involved with. And everybody went up and touched the tree. And when they touched the tree, they got a vision. And when my character touched the tree, she turned into an Efreet for a split second. So then turned back into a tiefling bard, but for a split second she was an Efreet. So I really think that the DM has a different plan for her. And then whenever we met the parents, her parents were a Balrog and an Efreet. And that's her mom and her dad. The dad was the Balrog. And the Balrog ultimately was the one that killed her because she wouldn't turn against her friends. She did get to do the cool speech, though. I have been hoping to fire off for a long time. Because she was a stranger in a strange land. They picked her up from the Underdark as a character. And so she's been kind of tootling around, having fun, enjoying the world as it was. And so I really want to be a bard, but I keep raising the dead instead. Either way, Ivy will never die herself because she is an intriguing character. And I will likely play her again. And I don't think that she will. She's permanently gone from this game. We just need a little bit of space right now. That's all. Man, I've got great pen control. Can't quite make her as busty as the other guy did, though. I mean, the other guy, the original drawing this was based off of, it's just, the boobiness was just serious. Okay, thank you. Okay. See you later, Bulldog. Thank you for joining us. All right. There we go. We're going to fix some stuff, but that's all right. At least it's not permanently bleh, which was where we were before. I don't actually mind. The original art was great. It was very lovely, but once I got into the redraw, I couldn't stop looking at the anatomy in not a good way. Usually when an artist says I can't stop looking at the anatomy, it's never a good thing. It's not the ooh, she's cute and stuff. It's like yeah. So I was like, I just can't. I had to redraw her. So now we're here. And I've checked the anatomy now. Using the cat to just verify that we're doing the right thing. That looks right to me. I don't know how this succubus sleeps at night. I'm just going to say that now, just for the record. All these pointy things she's got. I'm just like asking to point and poke her in the middle of the night. It's like, I don't want to sleep here. It's like Medusa. I mean, like, how does Medusa sleep at night? Do the snakes all go to sleep with her? And, like, that's the thing, right? You know? Do you get, like, random snakes that wake up in the middle of the night and they get all hissed off and they fight each other? And, you know what I mean? Like, constantly telling your snakes to stop. Stop fighting. He pushed me. He touched me. Yeah. These are the things that keep me up all night, guys. These are the things. That's a good point. Here we go. She's an adorable little succubi. All right. I think she's really cute. She's fluffy. As a little succubi should be. Trying to get that shoulder in there. Ugh. I know where the anatomy is. It's right here. That's where the shoulder's coming off, right? So right there's where that deltoid is. Elbow. Ugh. Draw a straight line, guy. Or at least a nicely curved line. Like so. Right now I know where that deltoid is, I know where this part is, and I can actually find the anatomy. I'm actually going to remove all of these for right now, just because I'll put them back in, but I think I want them to be more cognizant and aware of the anatomy. So I'm going to be bringing this back through. First, we're going to put in her arm. That way I don't have to mess with this anymore, right? And then her arm coming out that way, that's too high. This. There we go. Checking my anatomy there on that one. Now, I can see that I have messed up the boobs because, they're massive. That's insane. Because we have fetishes that we're dealing with here, I guess. Which is fine. Just not my fetish. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with having a fetish. There's nothing wrong with being fetishy. There's nothing wrong with eating fettuccine. It's just a problem whenever you want your artist to depict things. It's a little harder. The artist isn't 100% on board with this. And not that I'm not on board, I'm just not the world's best at epic breasts. Not one of my ongoing skills. It's, it's just not something I have particular. It's not a trait that I have ever really particularly thought was attractive. Personally, I understand that other people, your mileage may vary. Also, it doesn't really matter because for the most part, people are people. All right. Seeing a lot of problems with this particular arc here. So let's bring that back around. Like so. Actually, I'm going to trim out this too, because this should be the little baby hairs. But also, let's fix the anatomy and make sure we're all correct in the anatomy. I heard an Asian buddy of mine call a female Asian buddy of mine call these baby hairs, these little strands of hair on either side of that the girls specifically get and they kind of like, and sometimes they'll grow them out, and since they are effectively they're more like sideburns than they are, but I've heard them refer to them as baby hairs, so I kind of like that term. And I think it's because the hair is very, very fine. It's very light and not very not as coarse Asians tend to have coarse hair, thick, coarse hair. It's that black hair that comes in. Again, I'm not overgeneralizing. I'm just talking about the genetics here. I mean, obviously, everybody is different. And this is good because I really need to move this eye. To there. Feeling pumped. Might start issue 6 IDK. I did finish all of the text adding and things like that to issue 2. I need to go back today. We're going to spend the second half of this show today dealing with that. So that I can make sure it's readable, legible, etc., etc. And then I'm going to send it off to the printers, frankly, to make a print of the base. Brent, do you want me to send you a copy so that you can edit as well? You don't have to. There's no requirement. But I'm doing something different this time. Last time I gave it to my bestie, and after it had been all drawn and everything was together and done, and my bestie said, "I don't understand this page at all. You need to redraw it." And I went, because that's hours upon hours upon hours of work. And I was like, what? No. And he's like, you don't have to, but I just don't get it. And I don't want to risk that. So I'm going to do a different tactic this time. I'm going to give it to the editors first. That way they can look it over, and I will look it over and say, this is too slow, this is too fast, this is too whatever. And it's just a matter of just changing dialogue or whatever at that point. It's not a matter of redrawing the entire freaking comic. So this is a different tack I'm taking on this, but hopefully I will send it to you. And so, I mean, like, I'm not kidding, Brent, be brutal with it. This is a great time to be brutal with it. If you're not understanding something, if something's not clear, this is the time to do it. I like leaving the little bump there because it's like the breast is getting smushed into the brassiere there. I think that's funny. I'm like, I'm feeling like these are huge boobs, and of course they're not. It's just funny how much you became way too simple. All right. Specifically right there. You can be as rough with it as you want to be, because we've got time. I'm not gonna lie, I really do like these tools with the vector lines. And I am slowly coming around to the idea of using these vector lines over the raster. But it's taking some time because I don't really like, I've never liked vector. I like sketching, I like the feel of sketching. And so it's really hard to make that transition, because this is very left brain work for me, doing this kind of stuff, trying to adjust the lines and get them cleaned up. Very, very left brain for me, and that's harder. I'm not a left brain individual. I'm not saying I don't have any left brain, I'm just saying that, I don't have any brain left. Ha! Get your lunch. Heat it up. Heat it up. So, I joined Threads yesterday. Which was interesting and full of Taylor Swift, which is going to become a thing. I can already tell. Because so many of us were like, why am I getting so much stuff about Taylor Swift? I mean, not that I have any problem with Taylor Swift per se. I am more of a K-pop guy. That's all. Yeah, what do I do? There we go. Um, all right, I think all the line works in. I need to fix this. I actually like some of Taylor Swift's songs. Some of them are pretty lovely. I dig them. I don't know, but it was so funny because it was like she was everywhere in our feeds. And so everybody was like, okay, so what's the story with Taylor Swift? Like, why is she in our feeds? And I'm sure it was just an error of sponsoring. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Hi. What the heck? Uh-oh. We have pin failure. I think it's time to swap pins. Hang on. This may take a minute because my auxiliary pin is underneath a lot of things all of a sudden. It wasn't something I expected to have happen, but here we are. So, I think my pen just ran out of pen juice. So, quickly, we're over here. Things. So we find the auxiliary pen. Which is sitting on things here. It's over here. Singing the auxiliary pen song. I swear if I find that it hasn't been plugged into this whole time, I'll be really sad. Swap. Swap. Auxiliary pen. New pen. Oh, I see. Alrighty. That explains a great many things. I don't know. I mean, it's cool. I don't have any problem with her. Certainly don't want to sound like that, but I don't have a specific problem with her. Okay, we're going to do this. I'm going to add another layer. I'm going to duplicate this layer and put it here because I really want to integrate up on this layer, like so. Right? Maybe not. There's a lot of curls on this. I want to make sure that those. Jesus. That's just unreal. I don't command that kind of money. All right. Give her the 80s flair of the baby hairs. In doing so, I now can do this, then go in here and just take out all the things in the center like that. I love the intersection eraser. All right, I'm going to take out the underdrawing because now we're only working on the, well, no, I need two more things in the underdrawing. Two more elements are not in here. She doesn't have this back hair. And I'm doing the same thing I'm going to do for all of this stuff. I'm going to keep adding in on top of this so that I don't mess up my existing drawing by doing this. So adding in another layer on top, I'm going to try to talk about this back hair, which is behind all of these other things. So we're going to go there. Just going to get there we go. And that way it still kind of arcs in behind and it's going to add to these guys, which are way to the side, down to designing 2 characters for group 2 of AD. Okay, I need more data than that. That wasn't enough data. So I'm not sure what that means. But okay. Okay. Are you talking about your comic? Because that's probably where I'm lost. I'm probably lost because of the that you're talking about the comic, your comic, and that may be exactly why I'm completely lost here. All right, let's merge those two together. I know 100 Armstrongs, including a friend of mine. I just I need I need just a little bit more help here. Are we referencing a game? Are we referencing? Oh, okay. We are talking about your comic. As far as Armstrong goes, I don't remember an Armstrong in your comic, so that just means that I know who the character is, but I just know the face and not the name because I'm sure that's a big enough piece of plot point that I certainly know who we're talking about. I just may need sort of a walkthrough on whom that character is. Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. Now we shall do a perfect ellipse. Nope, that's not what I thought was going to happen. For crying out loud. Why would you do that to yourself? Make it a vector layer. Oh, okay. Armstrong is from Full Metal Alchemist. That I get. I was getting very confused because I thought you had a character named Armstrong in your comic, and I was like, I don't remember that character. And so I was like, dang it, I don't know what that character is. Yeah. But now that you're talking about Full Metal Alchemist, I know what we're talking about here. All right. So your thought was to add a character similar to that into your story. I get that. That makes some sense. It's Louis Armstrong. Speaking of Armstrong, that's really strange. But somebody is playing Louis Armstrong out there. And that's just a bizarre sequence of timing. Like, why'd you pick now to play Louis Armstrong? No, there's nothing wrong with jazz, except that Kan and I were just talking about the character Armstrong from FMA. And that's a little like bizarrely on the nose there. You know what I mean? Like, that was a little strange. No. I absolutely adore jazz. Oh man. I'm page setting. I shouldn't need to page set anymore. I think we're good there. There we go. Dun dun. Easy, easy. Easy peasy. Clean that up. And Bob's your uncle. And now I have taken the piece that we originally had, which looked like this, but prints badly, and that was the whole point. And even the line work was it was markedly off. The line work was originally off by quite a bit. The anatomy wasn't as good. And I mean, like things like both hands were behind the 8-ball, and the head was off on anatomy, and the chest was off. So I wanted to kind of fix the anatomy. So we got to here, which is a markedly well, that's good. I like that idea. I'll thicken this a little bit because it looks a little too absolutely cultured and straight, and I don't like that. It doesn't look weird enough. So just giving a little bit of life to the lines there so that doesn't look so straight on. I follow now. Making sure this thing curves nicely. Part of the beauty of this is this curve, this elegant curve here, which I really like. I'm just trying to rescue and retrieve this curve. There we go. Hold that curve, and that looks beautiful and elegant. And I'll bring this around to make it more elegant too. I don't mind making it have sort of a variable on it. There we go. Excuse me. All right. Moving right along through here. Pop this control point up just to give it a little bit of a curve. This control point can go over. Bring this around and touch there. Just pulling junk out of this one, apparently. Ugh. This line just got weird really quick. Somebody does not like Louis Armstrong. I'm just saying. There we go. Now, a couple things I want to fix. give some expression right in here. Louie, Louie. Louie, Louie. Baby. Oh, we gotta go now. Not exactly sure what that means, but okay. Oh, gotcha. That makes more sense. I mean, I'm sure it made sense in the first place. I was just in a different mindset. That's all. It may have become too simple. There we go. Not that one. This one. I actually think I want to hit this line right here and go a little thicker with it. Coming out of the other side here, same thing. Sort of go that way. Sniper, Joker, and Tank don't even have names. I like that. That's funny. There's like no reason for that. Just exists in a vacuum over there. Whatever. Like things, the things need to sweep. Oof. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. I like that. Very happy, happy-go-lucky character. Mm-mm. It's amazing how calm one can be when they hit the delete key and delete all of the line art. You know that you can just undelete it. I remember the days when Photoshop didn't even have undo. It was a long time ago. Back when dinosaurs ruled the earth. I'm such a sloppy artist sometimes with these things. I'm just so sloppy. It's like, ugh, all these pieces that need to be fixed all the time. All right. I feel like the line works pretty solid on this. Straighten out a lot of the weird problems with it and got those kind of squared away. And I think I need one line right here to indicate that there is a fold here because it's folded on top. Anyway, here we go. Maybe I'll adjust it down just a smidge right here. Open up. I'm like, wait a minute, kind of like that. I'm going to rasterize you. I'll select. It's like, I got to figure that one out. There we go. Nope. And there is a leak right there. We'll go patch this up. You seeing this as a leak? Maybe you are. That's fine. Okay, what am I missing? What are you missing? Do that and that fix a whole lot faster. Yeah. There we go. The reason I did that was because I want to do this. There. I have a conflicting tangent here, and I'm going to go through and fix that. Or rather, a tangent that has walked away from the All right. Without that small bit of the trapezius, that wouldn't be very useful. Now we'll go up here and down here on the inky copy. I'm going to do this. And give it the shine of a light on the rim here. And then maybe even to give it the feel that it's got depth. So There we go. I think that's good. I need to add my seal to it. Need to remember what I'm looking for. Brain just completely went sideways on me. Boof. That's very. There we are. I'll grab myself one of my Hunko. And place it down here. And let's make it a little smaller so it's not so ridiculous. And imposing. Actually, since it will be a buddy of mine, I'm pretty sure she's not going to. There we go. Now we will do all the things to it real quick. Transform. No, tonal correction. And this is one of those where we have to do the reverse gradient. No, that's not it. It was the other one. There's like a term. Oh, that's right. We don't do it this way. We do saturation luminosity. That's it. And then desaturate it here. And then we do levels. You are a couch potato. Okay. I am completing this piece. I'm going to leave that in sort of the loop with it. The problem is I can't read the actual person's. I can't read his signature, and that's super frustrating. Under all these conditions, there's no conditions of which I can read his signature. That's not even a viable thing. We don't save that. That one has no signature. Yeah, well, guess we do our best. We do our best. Okay, well, that's it. That's calling this one good. I'm going to close that. Now to send to client for proof and discussion and see whether she likes it or not. She may or may not. We'll have to see. So, anyway, looks good to me. I think it's running fine. So, I will then head on out. It is. So, it is Friday today, but I don't have plans tonight. So, my buddy is still out of town, the one who I usually do spend Friday nights on. And I actually do not have plans tomorrow night either. So I may broadcast over the weekend just so we can get work done. We'll have to see. I don't know. But Saturday I go to the Ren Fair, but I don't usually stay long at the Ren Fair. I just go there for a while. I like to peruse the kilts and figure out if I want to do something else with the kilts or whatever and things like that. And I like to wander around and, have a turkey leg, except I don't eat the turkey legs anymore, but that's okay. It's still fun. So, but it usually gets about too hot somewhere in the middle of the day, and I start to get aggravated and annoyed. So, like, I want to come home. So I'm usually back by about 4 or so. So I think I might broadcast Saturday night. I do work Sunday, but then I don't work Monday, so I can come home Sunday night and then take a nap if I really want to or whatever before Sunday night stream. So we'll have to see what's going on. Hopefully I can get Can to get on here sometime this weekend, and if that were to be the case, then we could discuss where we sit on this and whether we want to move it or something so it's more usable for Can. So anyway, that's what we got for today. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all being here and chatting with me and everything like that. And I will see you later. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Bye.